This is our live Q&A. I'm Jeff Kiesel, Kiesel Guitars. I have my very special guest, badass guitar player and badass human, Al Joseph. We're going to be hanging out today talking about guitar a little bit. And if you have questions for either myself or Al, please type it in the comments below and hopefully your question will get read. Audio still good, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right, I can hear myself. That's a bad thing. So I was starting to say before, Jason Becker is a very special person. And Jason opened up his auction today to auction off some personal guitars. And one of the guitars that sold was a yin yang guitar like this one, similar to this one, but it was signed by a lot of really cool people, including Metallica. And that guitar sold in a matter of minutes for $25,000. Probably too low of a price if it sold in a matter of minutes, but still really cool to get that kind of money. So I'd like to make my deal of the hour this Jason Becker. And what makes this guitar special compared to a normal yin yang? Number one, there's no 16 to 20 week wait like we currently have right now. This will ship tomorrow, but it has a master grade roasted flame maple fingerboard rather than a normal 4A roasted flame maple fingerboard. So I'm asking $2,300 for this guitar shipped with a case right to your door, and it can ship out tomorrow. So if anybody's interested in this and supporting such an awesome person as Jason, call my guys, 858 Guitars, to grab this one. This one will not be going up on Guitars in Stock if it does not sell. I will have some other motives for it if it does not sell while we're live right now. So this is your one chance to get a yin yang master grade roasted flame board with no weight, $2,300 with case, shipped to your door. Original Floyd Rose, badass guitar, and something that Jason was working on and wanted me to make happen for him. So I was happy to do that. So Al, what part of LA are you in?
Downtown.
Downtown.
Arts District.
And you like that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love my spot. I love the area. I love the culture. And there's always something to do. There's always people doing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
So when you're not playing guitar, what kind of things are you doing?
Hanging out, hanging out with friends. Met a new girl. My girlfriend, she's awesome.
She seems pretty awesome. I gotta be
awesome.
honest.
She's just banging. She's awesome. So we hang all the time. And, yeah.
Play soccer and stuff.
Yeah, that too. my knees are paying for that right now. But no, it's fun. I just like to have fun and socialize and just be with people that I know, have that reciprocity, just the positive energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing too, like when I follow your story, the thing that I like about following your story, not just the rad guitar playing, because that's great, but I like seeing the food you cook.
Yeah, man. Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
I could tell you got it kind of going on there, man.
Well, yeah.
So tell us about that. How long have you been cooking for?
Just a couple years.
Yeah.
Got into it because, I'm trying to save that money, eat more healthy, there's a lot of bad stuff out there, so I'm trying to eat more healthy. My roommate cooks, this guy will make anything, so that's inspirational because, just in my place downstairs, he'll be down there just cooking whatever. All that smell comes up to my loft, like in my room. So I live in a loft, so I have no walls or anything. So I smell everything. I'm just like, dude, how do you cook that? How do you do this? He shows me, so I just do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're definitely making some gourmet looking stuff, though. I gotta be honest. Sometimes I'm looking and I'm going, damn, that looks good.
The filet mignon, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool to do something that's, good for yourself.
Yeah.
It saves some money. Do we have the deal of the hour sold?
Oh, yeah.
We have the deal of the hour sold. Who is this guitar going to?
Eric Riley.
Eric Riley, thank you so much. That is so awesome to be able to support Jason like that. And guys, just know every time we sell one of these Becker guitars, part of the proceeds go directly to Jason and his family to help with his high medical costs. So whether you missed out on this one or not, click that buy button and get a Jason Becker, throw one in your cart. We have the JB200, the JB24, which is also known as the numbers guitar, and the yin yang. So thank you guys so much, and thank you, Eric Riley.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's so cool to be able to do that, and save that money, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think too, like a lot of people are getting into more experienced things, and I think even some of the fine dining and eating, I guess, better meals is still something that I think we all took for granted a little bit, you know, prior to COVID. You know, I'm more mindful of it. I know myself where I'm like, let's eat good, you know?
Yeah. You know, like feed your body, you know, you are what you eat, literally.
Yeah, and you don't know, you know, how long you got or whatever, not to be morbid here or anything, but, you know, it's like, so it's cool to see you cooking like that. And,
You know, my dad, you know, he's going into surgery as we speak, you know. I mean, he's okay. He's fine. He's okay. But, I mean, you know, you think, you know, just like, man, what am I setting myself up for down the line, you know? And being into fitness and just keeping my body feeling good, you know. I mean, my girlfriend knows I've been complaining for the last couple months because I've just been eating shit, to be honest. Like, I don't get me wrong, I eat shit sometimes too. So
literally shit.
Literal shit, like diarrhea and everything. No, but like, you know, it's just like you feel it after a while. So you're just like, and then you know, then you get a good meal in, and then you're eating, you know, what you cooked. First of all, you're eating what you cooked. Then it tastes amazing because you've been working on that, and then you just feel light, you feel good, feel nourished.
Yeah.
Keep that going. You know?
I think too, you feel good about it too because you made a meal, and then it was good, and so it's something to do. It's something to pass the time too. You know, and I think all of us need a little bit of that every once in a while. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, bro. So you know, on to guitar. How old were you when you picked up guitar?
11.
And what made you pick up guitar?
Well, I was a drummer before that. Actually, I was a drummer around 11, but like right around the same time, you know, drummer.
Damn drummers.
Yeah, so, and my dad bought himself a classical guitar, bought me a student guitar. I didn't want to play mine, I wanted to play his guitar. And I just remember, you know, hitting that note right there, that one, C, boom. I was like, it was orgasmic, people. It was orgasmic.
Dang.
So, yeah, so like ever since then, I've just been picking around on it. And then I was like, man, that sounds like that song. And I want to learn this song. And I was just obsessed. It just hit me. It just caught the bug immediately.
That's awesome. So when you were young, you didn't have to have anybody telling you, hey, get practicing.
Nope.
You know, and I find that too, to be, you know, when someone's like that, they end up with a better shot at being someone so successful like yourself and such a great player, is when you're self-motivated, self-driven. And that's not saying that, you know, kids growing up where the parents had to ride them, that they did not become successful. But for the most part, you know, you can see that in people usually, you know, so that's really cool to hear. And, you know, what age do you remember being when you were like, this is what I'm going to do?
Probably a year after that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because it was just, you know, I'm riding down Interstate 80. You know, my brother knows where that is. And, you know, my dad got himself a new car. He got himself a Camaro SS, the nose, 300 horsepower. We're flying down the highway, new Infinity speakers. And he was, you know, he got me into Santana, George Benson. And then he popped in. He was like, okay, I feel like these guys you're catching on, but you're not yet like holy shit, you know. I'm just like, well, you know, show me something else, you know. Yeah. So he had a bunch of Joe Satriani tapes and CDs, but he put in Surfing with the Alien, and
some heavy hitters,
bro. Yeah. Right then and there, I heard that song and I was just like, it was orgasmic. So
little Al Joseph gluing stuff together in his room, playing guitar.
Yeah, man. But no, man. I mean, like. And then I had that acoustic guitar, and then just trying to play the stuff that he was playing, and then how that led to my obsession with getting a hold of an electric guitar. My football coach had an electric guitar. My dad went and bought that off of him. It just one thing after another, you know. Dang. So it was just like, I'm obsessed with it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And, you know, that's when you know it's really pure and, you know, you're doing it for the right reasons. And it's just so cool to see. And I remember, you know, watching your videos and, you know, going back, you know, a few years, as I shared this story with you already, but, you know, viewers don't know. But I went to Brandon, you know, we're looking at launching the Theos, and, you know, I actually not looking at launching it. I was in the middle of creating it still. And I told Brandon, hey, man, you know, here's a list of people that I really want to get. And Al Joseph was on that list. Remember that, Brandon?
I remember that.
And
I remember you reaching out too, man.
And Brandon reached out and, you know, talked a little bit. And timing maybe wasn't exactly perfect at the moment. And then Chris Johnson, came on board with a little bit higher capacity role, helping out with artist relations. And Chris was like, hey, I'm good friends with Al Joseph, what do you think about him playing him? I'm like, dude, he's been on my list, man. And he's like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah. And so then, being able to meet you at NAMM, and I think that's a big deal, meeting someone, because you can watch someone on camera and you can watch someone on a video, but until you meet them in person, you really don't know how that person is. And I remember meeting you and just hitting it off with you. It was just like, yeah, this feels good. And it was just cool. So that's how our relationship started. And that was back at NAMM, last NAMM. So it would have been 2019. So that was pretty
man.
Cool.
It's been dope ever since, bro.
Oh, no, it was 2020 NAMM, I guess, right? Not 2019. Yeah, it was 2020, I guess.
I thought it was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think it was 2020 because it was 2020. It's just all this time is like kind of blending, seeming short at times and seeming really long at times with COVID going on, right? So anyway, anything else you want to chat about?
I just got to say, man, like the quality, getting on stage with that Theos. Getting on stage with that, I played at the Whiskey, and I didn't know how it was gonna go. I wasn't nervous about the guitar, to be honest, but I had played it for a while. But getting there live, plugging it in, and it just screaming the way it did, man. It's just like, you never know what you have or what you don't have until you have it, and that was that was the experience for me. It was just the quality, the way it's put together. I can put a 59 gauge string, tune that bitch down, and it still quacks the way I want to. It still like hits, So I mean, dude, hats off to the quality that you put into it, the way that you run your business, everything, all the people here having fun. Like seeing that was a game changer for me. It was like I'm glad I made the right choice. So
thanks,
I just wanted to say that so you guys know.
I appreciate it.
I'm behind this guy.
Thanks, man. We're definitely behind you. And that's a big thing here. We want, the shop to be productive and efficient, but we also want people to want to be here and have a good time. I encourage people to have some small talk and have conversations about their weekend and stuff, as long as they're working while they're doing it and stuff. And I just think that that's a big difference, in what we do. It is more like a family environment, and we're always looking for, more family to add. We've added 3 new members in the past 3 weeks, and we're looking still to hire more. So a little plug out there for us. If you guys are in the area and you're looking for a job, definitely come by. We only do applications in person, but definitely come by. We're always looking for great men and women to join our staff and our family here. Why don't we open up for some questions? So if you guys have questions for myself or Al, type them in the comments below, and let's have some fun today.
All right, this one's from Richie. This one's for Al. How does the SCB play while standing up? Do you think the solo or SCB is better in that regard?
I wouldn't pit them against each other. They're both different. Real talk. I mean, we just worked on something today. I don't want to get too much into it, but I'm really feeling the SCB and the sound of it. I just recorded my new tune with it. When you guys hear it, you let me know what you think, but I think it's a fucking crazy, awesome guitar. It's my favorite one he's got out there. So I feel like the SCB, standing up and playing, to answer your question, it's dope. Of course it is.
All right, got another question for Al. It's from Mike. He says, "Hi Al, this is your student Mike here. I have a question for you about your writing process. How do you go about writing music? By the way, you deserve a signature Kiesel."
We're working on it, bro. We're working on it. My writing process, man, is a weird one. I've spent like the better part of probably 10 years trying to teach that process. It's really something we got to sit down with more and talk about. But for me, it comes from an idea. The inception comes from maybe a drum groove, something that I think my brother would play, or something, a guitar groove, or the main thing for me though is like keeping an idea going and staying inspired and trying to minimize any hitches in the flow of my process when it comes to writing. So to me, it's about getting all the ideas right down in the DAW, record it, get it in there before they go away. You know, sing most of the ideas when I'm away from my my DAW into my phone, voice memos, whatever, and just going back through them, just having a library of ideas and just sticking them together. So, but that's a really deep question. But I mean, you know, all in all, that's the process. Just idea after idea after idea. Just get them out.
What is the average price for a custom guitar?
Nowadays, our average price seems to be coming in right around $2,200. You know, with our base price starting at around $1,200. We do have a price increase coming July 1st. We're going up on every single model. Will be going up. It's not a huge increase, but it's an increase we have to do. So if anybody's on the fence and you know they kind of scrape together just enough to get into a guitar now, keep in mind we only take 20%. That's all it takes to get a guitar started. So I would definitely encourage you guys to drop that money now before July 1st. You know, we don't have any sales between now and then. I guess really the sale is you get the current pricing and not the new pricing. So just trying to be as transparent with you as I possibly can and let you guys know that we do have that increase coming. So starting at about $1,200, average of about $2,200. And I have a lot of increases on my end. Lumber, I shouldn't even call it lumber. Hardwoods, exotic woods has gone up, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20%. Hardware, screws, fasteners, and hardware. Paint supplies. So we're seeing a lot of increases, and so we have to pass that on. You know, we can't just eat it, obviously. So anyway, it's nothing crazy, but I just want to let you guys know.
Seth is asking, would you guys ever do the Hot Ones wing challenge?
Hell no.
Can you do spicy?
I look, I love spicy, but it's the after effect of spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't want to be on the toilet for that long.
Yeah, I would have done it.
I'm just keeping it real.
I would have done it a long time ago. I have acid reflux pretty bad, so it stops me from having too much spicy at all. I just start coughing. I just get this, like, my throat's like kind of raw, I guess, from just stress, you know, I mean, running a business and caring so much, you know, about what happens here and stuff, and, you know, putting that all out there, you know, and doing all these lives, you know, you put yourself out there. And so with that comes a lot of extra stress and anxiety and things like that. So I try to manage it with, like, I don't do coffee anymore. But I used to be eat really spicy stuff, and now I kind of can't. I just start coughing. It's not that I can't handle it. It's not too hot for me. My body is like, nah, man, you just can't do it. So I would love to do something like that.
I do, you know.
You do it, though.
I don't get to about the second wing, but, you know.
The other thing is I can't. Can you touch, like, chicken wings?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Like, I can't touch anything saucy with my fingers. I can't do it.
Oh, man.
I've always been like that since I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, getting anything on my fingers, like, I have to wash. Getting anything on my face like that, I can't do it, man.
I can do that. I mean, yeah, I can do that. But it's just, seriously, I love wings, man.
Oh, I love wings too, but
Yeah.
I like the dry rub ones.
Oh, the dry rub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love dry rub, like lemon pepper, all that. But I mean, yeah, it's just that hot, that really spicy stuff. I'm just, you guys know what happens, man. You know what happens. That's painful, man. That's painful. I'm not doing that.
I was not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Good. All right, we got a question from Joey for Al. He says, any tips on making a smooth transition from 6 strings to 7 strings?
Learn your guitar neck. Because I know for me, it was easy. I mean, you know, nothing's easy like that. But I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that pick up my guitars and they're just like, dude, I'm completely lost. I'm like, well, you know. So, and I get this question asked a lot of the time in my lessons as well. So just learn your guitar neck. Like, be familiar with, you know, the pedagogy. You know, just get it down. Be able to see a note and be like, okay, there's E, there's A. You know, like, you know, and then having extra string won't be any problem.
This is going back to when you guys were talking about cooking earlier. But someone asks, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Filet mignon with a blue cheese spread.
Oh, my man. Yeah, I love like blue cheese crumbles like on a steak or something. Oh, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, I melt it in butter.
Oh,
Just
that
like-
sounds good.
And whip that shit and just like spread it over that.
Now, when you do your fillets or when you cook steaks, are you doing it on like a skillet or?
So
on
the
a
way I
barbecue?
do it now, and some of you guys out there might come at me for this, but I don't care because you can taste my filet mignon, you'll know what the fuck is up. So I'll sear it first on the pan,
Okay.
and I'll cover it in butter. I'll get butter on it, and then do whatever seasoning that I want that I feel tastes good, whatever combination. Sear that, get it on the sides. What I really want to do is cook it on the outside first. And then what I do is I spread aluminum foil on a baking pan, a little olive oil. I put either cilantro or rosemary down, and let them sit on top of there and bake them for like 12 minutes, 360 to 400. I mean, whatever I'm feeling like doing. I just watch them, I cut into them, and I just... Yeah, as long as it's pink on the very, very inside, it's like eating cake.
Well, your higher end restaurants all use, super high heat ovens. So, when you go to a high end restaurant, you get a high end steak, we're talking a $70 steak. $70 for just a steak. You don't get any sides. They're all oven. Nobody,
I'm
doing
doing it right.
You're doing it right. So anybody coming at Al, you haven't had a gourmet steak.
You got to get through Jeff first.
But I will say this. I'll put my ribeye on the barbecue with just crushed sea salt up against anybody's steak. So we'll have a steak off. I'll buy the meats. Al will come over, and we're gonna cook. He's gonna cook 2 in the house. And I'm gonna cook 2 outside, and we're gonna see who is right with this.
Man, I'm kind of intimidated, just a little bit.
Telling you, man, the ribeye with just good. If you have really good quality meats, all you need is salt.
That's the main thing. Get the real good quality meat.
Yeah.
The top shit. And
Yep.
then, the rest of it is just like, that's half the battle.
Yeah, a little bone-in ribeye. Oh, man.
Okay.
Dang.
All right. It's on.
That's on, brother.
Harold is asking, Jeff, can I order the inline GT headstock on the DC 600 even though it's not on the builder?
You absolutely can. The thing about that is because the headstock still does look good on the DC, because it's not a standard one you can order online, it would make the guitar non-returnable. Because typically the GT is going to be for like the Delos, the Theos, models like that. So,
Al, what pickups are you using in your guitars?
Love this question. Lithiums.
we had this talk early on,
Kiesel lithiums.
when we were at NAMM, and Al was working with a pickup company and a company that he wanted to play for years, and I just said, well, hey, look, just try our pickups. This is before he took the first guitar. I said, look, just try our pickups. If you like them, great. If you like them better, that's awesome. And if you don't like them better, then we'll put whatever the hell you want in. And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I mean,
It
I
is,
was stoked, because
the decision was like immediate. I've been waiting my whole life to work for this other company, and yeah, it was like that. This dude just knows what he's doing.
well, we have a lot of really good people here, too. Obviously, it takes a lot of people here. The lithiums were my design. Albert did all the guitar playing, and I just sat back and listened. We had Brandon and Albert work with my dad, and they did the berylliums, so they did a great job. I stayed completely out of those.
I love those too, by the way.
And those are great sounding
I love
pickups.
it.
So
I
those
love
guys
it.
did a really good job. I just stayed out of it because I like a certain thing, and I didn't want to, get in the way of what could have come out of that. And then the thoriums and Illusionist I did those too. Illusionist I did for Lee, but it was first try for Lee, and he was like, this is it. So that was pretty cool. So it's been neat, with our pickups. My dad did Alan's pickups, did Frank Gambali's pickups. I did the polarities with Brandon and Albert, and those really came out really good. I remember early on we were like, everybody was pretty excited about him, but me. I was like, nope, and we just kept going. Brandon, how long was that project?
It took a long
I mean, was that seriously like 6 or 8 months?
Yeah, I'd probably say around 6 months. It was grueling.
Yeah, and I don't even want to know how much we spent. Like literally, yeah, because taking the time, pulling Albert out, pulling Brandon out, and then it's not just winding the pickups. We also had to have an outside engineer, tweak the module and stuff, and we're paying for that each time. And you just got to get things right. Either do it right or don't do it, right? So,
Both of you, who were your biggest influencers early on in your careers?
Joe Satriani, and I'd have to say John Petrucci, those two. Like, all day, all damn day.
it's awesome. And I would say just my dad and my grandpa, just the love that my dad and my grandpa always had for this business. It wasn't a business to them. They truly cared. And you can tell that when the weekend is there and they're talking about work. They're not, oh man, I got to go into work on Monday. They're like,
Cool.
hey, I'm working on this, or hey, this or that. They'd always have something for me. And even as a kid, when I was working in our local showroom and I would come home, I lived with my parents before I was married, and I'd come home from working and I didn't get it at the time. I'm eating dinner and my dad's like, hey, so what did you sell today? Okay, and what guitars and what options did they have? I'm like, Dad, I'm trying to eat my dinner. I'm off work, man. But his level of interest, it wasn't work for him, and so it's like, you look at that and you're like, oh, wow. And it finally really clicked for me, I would say, when I was about probably like 27, 28. That really clicked. It was like, I get it now. I get why my dad was like that. And I've told my kids this. Look, I don't want you here if this isn't what you want to do. I only want you here if this is where you want to be. Otherwise, find what you want to do. Because if you do what you love, you're not working,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man.
anyway,
Agreed.
Dad and Grandpa.
Justin is asking, Al, what's your favorite option from Kiesel that's a must-have on all of your builds?
Can't talk like that. Well, option. Probably the electronics. Like right now, I have the coil tap. I have a single cut. Well, first of all, single cut on all my builds. I mean, it obviously won't be that way forever, but I think single cut's the first go-to. Then I have the coil tap on the top, on the upper bout, like up here, so I can get to it quicker because I just don't like reaching back, beyond the bridge. So for me, that's and also having no tone knob. There you go.
I'm surprised the answer wasn't the bevel.
Oh, it's got to have the bevel.
Because this guy is like,
it's got to have the bevel.
all about the bevel.
Oh man, yeah, we went in today on the bevel. Yeah, I never thought about that question. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good question actually. And satin, you like satin guitars?
Oh, satin. Yeah, damn man. I'm fucking up.
There's a lot. Like, see, I know Al pretty good by now, and I know what Al likes. So, anyway.
I got a question for Jeff from Jay. He's asking, is there a tonal difference between pickguard mounted and direct mounted pickups?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it comes from two things, right? With a pickguard, typically you're going to have a lot of hollowing out in this area, and then the pickguard floats on top. So the guitar has more of like a chambered body sound because you have so much routed away in here. So really, you have the pickguard mounted, then you have bezel mounted, where you don't have all that routing, and then you have direct mount, right? Those are kind of really your three main ways of mounting pickups. And so there's not as much difference between the mounting rings with the bezel and then direct mount. There still is a difference, but the biggest difference is going to come from direct mount to a swimming pool style route with a pickguard over it, like a typical Strat style, which would be our Delos style guitar.
What are your favorite movies?
All of us. Both of us. Pulp Fiction.
Ooh, my man.
Yeah. Damn. That's a weird question, but I'll just list off the ones I like. Kill Bill. You're wearing the shirt right now.
All right.
Favorite movie, one of my favorite movies.
Another Quentin Tarantino flick, kids. Pay attention.
Here's another one. Reservoir Dogs.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with those. Those are my favorite movies to watch. Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas. And just like, in between like Quentin Tarantino and old school gangster movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, my favorite director, and we watched Kill Bill 2 the other day. But yeah, those are...
That's a movie, man.
The reason why I like the Quentin Tarantino flicks, what I'm a big fan of is when you see something, a scene, and then it shows how the hell it got there. Or different character perspectives in the same scenario, but you see how it affected each character. I love that.
It's
That's
so
like...
good.
And another great flick, I don't know if you've seen it, and I don't remember who the director is, and I always thought it was Quentin Tarantino, but it's The Usual Suspects.
I love that movie.
That movie, like I saw that when I was about 16 years old, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? What is this movie right here? And that like pulled me into that style of filming.
The part at the end where he...
Oh, you can't, if anybody hasn't seen it, you have to watch The Usual Suspects.
This movie's like 100 years old.
I know.
You haven't seen this movie yet.
Everybody in the room
you
here.
Deserve to get
There's 6 of you. How many have seen The Usual Suspects? Anybody in the room? Not one fucking person in the room. Yeah, man. So I bet on people watching, I bet a lot of you have not seen The Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey's in it. Benicio del Toro, Baldwin, what's his name? Stephen Baldwin. It's a great movie. Andy Garcia. There's a lot of people in the movie. Not Andy Garcia. What's the guy's name? I can't think of what his name is. But anyhow, a lot of great people in the movie. It's a great flick. You guys will definitely dig it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Jeff, what aspects of guitar building do you find come in handy with racing?
I would say it's the other way around. I think racing really, there's aspects of racing that really come in handy for guitar building. And why I say that is racing, you need such precision with machining parts, and the tolerances are so much more important in a race car than they would be in a guitar. And so I feel like my racing background has really helped my guitar background. When you're working on metal parts and things like that, it's a lot harder to work with metal than wood. So, if you can do metal work, you could probably do woodwork. So I think it's kind of been something that's just really helped me as guitars, with racing with guitars.
All right, this is a question for both of you. Do you prefer bolt-on or neck-through guitars, and is there a total difference between the two?
Well, I'll say there was a long time. I mean, I've been playing 22 years. Most of that was me having a bad first experience with neck-through, and then I stopped going with neck-through because neck-through was so bad with other companies. I'm just going to say it. Went to bolt-on, tried bolt-on with Jeff's guitars, obviously amazing. And then I was like, let's try a neck-through. And I don't think I'm going back to bolt-on. So I feel like neck-through is my thing from now on.
Yeah, I prefer neck-through as well. And that's how we really kind of broke through with our business, where we started having a lot of success with our actual neck-throughs. I mean, early on, everything was bolt-on. But then, once we got into the 80s and 90s, really the neck-throughs just took over. And that's how we built this business. And, bolt-ons are great, don't get me wrong. And they have this special sound. But there is something very special about a neck-through. Just the way the notes ring out, the sustain. the access, the ease of playing, and a lot of what we're doing is making it easier for you guys, right? We're trying to make instruments so that you guys want to pick them up and you want to play them more and you want to spend more time playing and you want to pick up the phone and order another one, right? That's our ultimate goal. We don't ever want to sell you one guitar. We want to replace every guitar you have with one of ours. And that's why we're really pushing hard on the customer service. We've taken a big step forward, this year and even into last year, and just really trying to make sure we're there for you guys the whole way through the process.
Any plans for new tattoos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always.
I've been trying to get around to getting this one shaded in a bit more. I'm trying to get 2 sleeves. Trying to get all tatted up.
Yeah.
I gotta ask this dude about it.
Yeah. I definitely want to, get my other side of my body. I'm covered here. I have my armpit done and my rib cage and my back, but I want to get my other side done in a Star Wars theme, but the same space. And then I want to get my neck tattooed on both sides. And then I'll probably do my legs. But I've been wanting to get my neck tattooed for a long time. My wife is like super against it. And I don't want to just throw like neck tattoos because I feel like you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have kind of your main part of your upper body pretty much covered before I think neck tattoos are like acceptable, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
You gonna do a neck tattoo?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can get down there.
Yeah. My wife says they look too ghetto, so whatever. I just tell her we'll be the old people that are like, we lived our life, we're old, have gauges and wrinkled up tattooed skin rather than just wrinkled up skin. Fuck it.
All right.
Marvin is asking, Al, great to see you. Do you think you would go headless in the near future?
Nah. I mean, I have one. I think I would definitely order more, but to be my main guitar, probably not. To me, the headstock is just so much a part of the, the attitude, the personality of the guitar. So I'm just old school like that.
I agree, dude.
Got a question for Jeff from Damon. He says, you guys make great guitars. When are you going to make amplifiers?
That's a really good question. We can make amps. We've gone past our non-compete when we broke off from the rest of the family. So we're at that point where we can do it. It's just, we love building guitars, and I don't want to take my energy and focus and excitement and put it into something else, because some of that's going to go over to something else. And I just love what we're doing right now. And I don't have a plan of doing that. I think if we were to do something like that, it would have to be American made by a reputable amp company in America. It wouldn't be here. It'd be something, made for us.
Guys could kill it though.
We could kill it. And we could definitely, do some matching finishes. I mean, imagine that. You get like, a faceplate of your amp, like with the same woods as your guitar and same finish. So, I mean, there's a lot of great ideas that we've had, but really just not losing sight of what we are. We're Kiesel guitars, and that's what my grandfather started, and that was his original vision, was guitars and pickups. Then he added amplifiers, and then, his firstborn wanted to do PA, and, kind of lost focus of what Grandpa started. And so we're back to what Grandpa wanted, and, maybe someday we'll do amps, but it's definitely not right now. I think we'd have to do pedals first, and there's been some talk about doing a pedal. How many of you guys curious would buy a K drive pedal, like a Kiesel drive, an overdrive? It'd probably have to be $200. Would you guys all buy one? I mean, I'd have to order a lot of them, but yeah, I think that'd be cool. I have an idea, and I don't know if there's enough interest. I'm definitely down to do it.
Okay, there's 2 things here. Someone says Jeff is 100% right with the neck tattoo etiquette. And then there's any different or interesting music you've been listening to lately?
Damn, can you go first?
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there, and I don't give a shit what you think. I do listen to a lot of metal. You guys all know that. But I do listen to like a lot of Duran Duran, and even, I gotta be honest, the Pet Shop Boys.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with them, but
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty dope, and it's definitely old, 80s stuff, but sometimes it's just cool just to listen to some stuff like that and chill. I remember being a kid and like hearing my neighbors playing that stuff, and I'd be out like skateboarding, and I'm like, what the hell are they listening to? And, kind of listen to it now, and you're like, all right, okay.
yeah.
You know how that is?
Yeah. What's that band? I'm blanking on the name. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. The band.
Tears for Fears.
Okay, Tears for Fears.
Yeah,
Been
that's
listening
good.
to a ton of that. I like back in the day, I didn't get it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, fine, I guess. And then I've been like watching all their live stuff
That's
on
awesome.
YouTube, this and that. Yeah, I just love that band. I was working construction a couple years ago for a homie of mine, and he just had it on all the time.
Yeah.
That and synthwave, like anything synthwave, like the Midnight. The Midnight's like my favorite synthwave group right now.
Nice.
It's on repeat.
Yeah, Tears for Fears will come on when you listen to Duran Duran, by the way.
Yeah, and I know. I couldn't think. of the name.
Pandora. That's
Yeah,
it. That way I'm not stuck on one band.
Yeah,
It's like,
I feel you.
get like,
No,
some
I
Phil
geek
Collins
out,
will come
dude.
on and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mike Washington, hey guys, this question is for Al. What led you to your current guitar model over the other models Kiesel offers? And did you consider the Aries?
I considered the Aries for sure. I don't know, man. I mean, when I was back with the previous company I was with, I had already ordered a single cut. I still have folders of like single cut models that I've actually fused together. Folders upon folders of this shit. And I've always been secretly a single cut guy. So, yeah. I mean, single cut is just there's something ballsy about it, in my opinion. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I love that telly style. And then, he obviously has the SCB, which is, it's a telly style, but it's got its own kind of flair and like metal flair to it. And it's really close to what I've been kind of imagining as my ultimate like guitar. So, it was a perfect fit. So that's it.
Jeff, what is your favorite Jason Becker model?
I'm gonna go with the Numbers guitar, and the reason why I say that is it was my first time really working with Jason. When we did the Bluey, the JB200, that was my dad working with Jason. And so being able to work with him and communicate with him and, just take what he wanted and really try to put my own flair on it so that it was still respectful of the original, but enough of what we do that made it a really fun project for me. And then his reaction, when it was released at NAMM and how the public reacted and how he reacted, it just was really special to me. And I don't know that I'm ever going to have another guitar that is going to be so deep and meaningful because of Jason's situation, right? It's great working with all these artists. It really is. It's amazing. But when you have somebody that has got the unfortunate situation that he has, and to be able to do something for him that's really helpful to him when he doesn't really have a way of earning an income, he's not going out touring, he's not teaching clinics. And so this is a big deal, and it's a big deal when you guys buy those guitars. It really helps them out. So probably the Numbers guitar.
My father had an older Carbon semi-hollow body and lost it in the divorce. It was an all-black Carbon with an acoustic bridge. Is it possible to get the same guitar but with Carbon on the headstock? I'm trying to surprise him.
I wouldn't be able to do Carbon on the headstock. It's possible that he had an AE 185, but I'm guessing that's what model it was. You could definitely talk to the sales guys. I won't put a Carbon logo on a Kiesel model. It's just not something we're going to do. I understand the sentiment, but with what we're doing now and the quality we're putting in, these aren't Carbons. They're not. I mean, they definitely deserve the Kiesel badge. And we keep the Carvin badge just on the JB200, you know, as a nostalgia thing, even though we have upgraded that guitar quite a bit. But, you know, if we don't have the Carvin logo that we're using, somebody else can use it too. So I have to have one model remain Carvin, and it made a lot of sense for the JB200 to remain that model. So I won't be putting any Carvin logos on anything. And if that means losing a sale, I'm just got to stick with what I believe in.
Tanner's asking a question for Al. What's your favorite finish that Kiesel offers?
Definitely the pearl blue. I mean, I was actually skeptical. So when we were at NAMM and he was trying to sell me on the whole thing, and I was, you know, where I was, and he's like, man, you know, we can do the blue. And I was like, oh, man.
I did the blue, man.
Yo.
I want to do the white.
What's that?
You were like, I did the blue, I want to do the white.
Right. Yeah. And I had already ordered a white one anyway. So, yeah, so I've always wanted like the white and gold thing. So I think that's pretty dope as well. But when I got the blue one, man, I was like, God damn, man. Every time my girl comes over, she's, you know, every time I get back home, she told you today, I just like, it's hanging up on the wall, and I'm just like,
yeah, every time I think of you, the blue guitar with the gold hardware on.
Yeah, man. But it was a situation where I just wanted to kind of get away and not feel like I had to. But I kind of wish I did earlier, man, to be honest, because it's
good that
that fucking good, man.
It's good that you did it, because you kind of went with something else and you're like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Now you're back.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
And when I ordered it, I was like, all right, we'll do it. Jeff's been awesome, man. Let's just do it. I know he wants to do the pearl blue, and like, damn. I'm sorry, bro.
Like, we got to do a blue one.
Next time you
man.
say something, I'm gonna listen.
I called you up. I think it was a Friday. We got on the phone, and we were on the phone for like probably a good 2 hours. And I was like, dude, we just got to do a blue one, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. And then we did it up, and it did come out really good.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
It's a sexy guitar.
Super sexy.
I had a pearl blue in satin too for a minute, and then I sold it at NAMM. It was an SH550.
Oh yeah,
I had white binding on
body.
it. Yeah, I had white binding on it, and I've done two of them. One with just the white binding, and one with black crackle over it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Both guitars sold. I'm like,
wow. Just like that.
Yeah, like that. People wanted them. Oh, can I get it? It's like, all right.
It's a good color now.
It is.
We've got time for probably one more question, and then it's Jeff's favorite time of the Q&A, spin the wheel. This is for Al. What was the first Kiesel or Carvin guitar you ever tried or owned?
It was the Theos. So in my collection, I have this like lavender, I don't know, it's like a lavender purple burst.
Yep, it has lavender with a metallic burst on it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and he let me take it home from NAMM, and we were talking about it today. Like, when I pick it up, I play it, I plug it in, I'm just like, yeah, I remember why I'm with this company. Like, that's actually, aside from the blue one, that's my favorite guitar in my collection. So I want to keep it.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous one with the chambered mahogany body.
So good.
Something about it, you know, it's that either a plain maple or a flame maple top with a mahogany body chambered. There's just something magical about that combo. All right, so it's that time of the live where I spin the damn wheel, and we hope like hell it doesn't land on story time. And this is where Savannah moves the light and watches my face in horror when it lands on story time, because that damn thing always lands on story time. So I typically will see the reaction from everybody else to know what the hell it landed on, and I'm hoping no story time. Okay, good. Movie, TV recommendations. And we kind of already did that a little bit. So I've gotten the break, I think that's 2 weeks in a row of no story time, which is great, because story time is hard.
What in what way? Like,
so like I have to come up with a story. I'm going to tell a story. Yeah, I have to tell a story. And so it's hard because you're sitting over here and you're so focused on answering all these questions, there's no time to really think about what the hell am I going to talk about for a story.
Right.
But if you guys gave a good topic, I'll come up with a story. How about that? Because we already did movie, TV recommendations, which is The Usual Suspects, want you guys to go watch that. Me and Al want you guys to go watch that. And then after you're done with that, dive into the Quentin Tarantino library. You're going to have some great movies.
No, I just have to throw this one in there.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, Hateful Eight. That's another Quentin Tarantino flick.
She knows.
That's a good one. I will warn you, if you're not a Quentin Tarantino fan as of yet, please do not start with the Hateful Eight.
Don't start with that.
That would be the one you would end with because you will understand his writing style.
Yes.
But there's other ones too. There is Death Proof, which is a good one. Kurt Russell's in that. You never seen that one?
No, I've never seen that.
Death Proof. Come on, man. And then there's Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That's another good one. Quentin Tarantino flick.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get a topic here.
Someone says Jason Becker story.
You know, I don't really have anything good with the Jason Becker story because, you know, everything's been online, you know, with myself and him. Unfortunately, I have not met him in person. So I just don't have a good one on that. My dad would have some good ones. He met him when he was younger and worked with him. But that would be for my dad.
Time you embarrassed yourself in front of an artist?
Ooh, God. Where do I begin? Time I embarrassed myself in front of an artist.
Weird question.
I mean, it is a weird one, but I can't really think about when I was actually embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed too often. I don't know. Can't think of that one. No.
Jeff farted super loud at lunch today. No.
That would be awesome. If you're going to fart, make it a loud and long one. I mean, hey, just own it. Like, be the boss of that fart. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get too embarrassed. You know, I'm not. I was sharing with Al earlier today. Like, I'm pretty, like, when I'm in my environment or someone's over at my house or I'm in a comfortable setting, I'm like pretty talkative and outgoing. But if I'm not in my setting, I'm like pretty shy and like I kind of keep to myself, really. You know, I mean, I'll give someone a piece of my mind if they like cut me off or something like that. Don't get me wrong, but but yeah, I'm kind of like I keep to myself for the most part. But I think that's it. If we don't have anything else,
Hey, I have a good.
Good
story that both of you could do.
Okay.
Like, I guess one of the funnier moments or funnier things that you did or happened to you when you were like starting off your career.
Whoa.
Okay, a funnier thing.
Like funny and like weird and like
Maybe goofy or just like actually funny, you know, just something kind of.
That's a hard
and
one.
I know when this is over, I'm gonna remember it.
Yeah, for sure.
Be like, fuck.
That's how I always am. Like 2 minutes after the live ends, you're like, why didn't I tell this story? Or one of them will say, what about this time? Zach, can you think of anything for me that I've told you about? Kind of a goofy or funny thing.
Early career.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, like, and it's not really funny, I guess, it's just when I was working on some of the more creative colors, stains, processes and things, I just remember getting a lot of pushback from everybody that was out there, you know, our custom shop at the time, you know, people here just like, oh, that doesn't look good, or you shouldn't do that, or why are you doing this? And so I guess really not necessarily a funny thing, but, you know, I guess I'm getting the last laugh because these are some of our most successful finishes.
Amen.
So, yeah, I mean, like our antique ash, I mean, I got the hardest time from quite a few people here, and we do so much antique ash, and the industry does antique ash now, the whole guitar industry. So I guess that was a really bad idea. So I guess spinning it in a positive, don't let somebody tell you that you shouldn't do something. Keep after it. Maybe you're onto something, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I've never been one to like back down from a challenge, or like when somebody says something isn't good, it really makes me kind of dig in and figure it out, I guess. That's how I am. That's kind of how I'm wired. It's like, oh, you don't like that? Okay, well, watch this. You know?
I like that.
Do you have anything like early on in your career, like What about like any crazy gigs you had? Like, where did you ever trip on stage or like eat shit or anything? Or
No.
like walking up or like break a guitar or anything?
No, I mean a lot of like NAMM hangs and parties are super epic. You know, and I think you guys, if they're watching this, they know who they are. I don't know if I can talk about that on here though.
I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Just strip club NAMM hangs.
Oh,
They're the
okay.
best.
Yeah, you're fine to say that.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
you're
that's
okay.
just and a lot of funny stories there, and a lot of crazy shit happened. But just imagine anything, it probably happened. So there you
Dang.
go. Yeah.
Some good times from Al Joseph right here. So I will give Al a plug here. If you're not following him, definitely go give him a follow. He does lessons too. He's an awesome guy to hang out with, and a great player. I mean, holy shit, a great, very talented player. So, keep in mind too, when there's no touring going on, these guys are relying on you to help them out, right? Take a lesson pack, He does stuff with jam tracks, so you can buy, you can hop on there. Where else can they find out about you?
On my website, aljosefmusic.com, I've got a whole series of products that I have out right now, covering technique, fretboard visualization, dynamic touch. I've got 3 more packs for songwriting, 4 packs for producing that are out now, and I'll be doing my live streams pretty soon, so just be on the lookout for that.
Cool. So definitely check him out. Too, keep in mind when you guys are paying for a lesson or a block of time, that block of time is yours to do what you want with. You want to talk food, you want to talk about cooking, you want to talk about technique. That's your time with him. Make sure you're using that time you block for what you want to get out of it. Don't use that time to talk about something for a half an hour like like he's known you forever, and then you're going to get into your half-hour lesson after that. So make sure that time, when that hits go, that's your time. That's his time he's setting aside for you, and then he needs to get that time, and go on about his day to get to the next lesson. So make sure if you're booking a half-hour lesson, you are either on, if it's hard to, to afford lessons and stuff, make sure you jam as much as you can in that half hour and you're prepared and you're ready. Or if you just want to talk about life and stuff, this guy's a cool guy to hang with, I'm telling you. So, and it's always good to book time with some good people. So on that note, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. As always, if you have questions, please call my guys, 858 Guitars. They're guitar nerds just like you and me, and they want to talk with you and they want to build you your